Back here on this Saturday morning, Sports Medicine Weekly. Steve Kashul, Dr. Brian Cole. Time now for the staple of our show. It's our Ask the Doctor segment. We do it each and every week here on Sports Medicine Weekly, giving our listeners the opportunity to have Dr. Cole address their specific sports injury questions or issues. Very easy to get involved. Go to our website, sportsmedicineweekly.com, and on the homepage, look for the picture of Dr. Cole and yours truly. Click on that link, and you can ask the doc a question. Got a good one here, Doc. For Dr. Cole, I want to be more proactive about maintaining my cognitive health. Are there specific foods that aid in brain function?
There are, Steve, and this is also another fascinating area. Again, Karen Malkin's been a great resource for some of these things, but let me go over sort of 7 or 8 things in brief that are noted to be particularly good for cognitive health, brain function. Number 1, blueberries. Blueberries contain phytochemicals. These are really strong anti-inflammatory mediators. They're antioxidants, and they've actually been shown to improve learning capacity and motor skills. Number 2, it's kale and avocado, both green things, right? So they are linked to global cognitive function improvement as well as frontal lobe function. That's your executive decision-making. That's the front of your brain. And that's been especially demonstrated in older individuals. Number 3, walnuts. They have polyunsaturated fatty acids. That aids in brain cell communication, improves concentration, memory, and brain processing. Number 4, fish. So we know that fish has omega-3 fatty acids. Those are known to be anti-inflammatory and at the same time can support brain function. Number 5, Greek yogurt. That's because it has vitamins and minerals for energy. It has relatively low fat. It has probiotics to support microbiota, and it's linked to brain health. Number 6, actually egg yolks contain multiple vitamins. They have vitamin A, D, E, and K, and those have also been shown to support memory and brain cell communication. And finally, whole grains, so oatmeal, barley, quinoa. They all have soluble fibers that help remove cholesterol from your body, and they can prevent plaques from forming in the arteries. So let me just review it quickly. I'm not going to go all the details, but these are the things, if you want to write them down, that can make a significant difference and have some scientific basis in cognitive health. Blueberries, kale, avocado, walnuts, fish, Greek yogurt, eggs, and whole grains. Get it?
Yep.
Can you remember it?
Most of it. Some things I don't like, but some things I like. I like kale. People are like, kale's horrible. I like kale.
I mean, if you can't remember it, eat more kale.
You got it. All right, another question before we say goodbye here on this edition of Sports Medicine Weekly. This is one that a lot of people ask. Dr. Cole, is it okay to eat before you go to bed?
So funny. You wouldn't even think I went to medical school. Everything's about food. Everyone wants to know about food, right? Okay.
Yes.
By the way, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. So things to
you
avoid.
Can do it
okay,
all.
So large meals before bed can actually put a lot of pressure on your GI system, and that can impact sleep quality. So, and the other thing to keep in mind is that there's now this intermittent fasting support for that type of concept, and that means you have a prolonged period without food. And there are some real benefits in terms of how we manage insulin and sugar and so forth. So clearly, eating just before you go to bed is not a good idea. But if you're going to do it, the things you should avoid: spicy foods that can cause acid reflux. Alcohol, you may think it helps you fall asleep, but it increases adenosine from how we metabolize alcohol. That actually disrupts the amount of REM sleep. So alcohol is actually really bad for your sleep. There are foods that are high in saturated fat. So those are really tough to digest. So polyunsaturated, okay, but saturated, not good. So look at the label. Sugars, that actually is linked to micro-awakenings in sleep cycle. In other words, disrupting your REM and waking up, having sugar before you go to bed. And the final thing is just having lots of fluids. It's better to space them out adequately throughout the day, and drinking a lot of or high volume of fluid just before you go to bed is probably not a good idea, not the least of which you're going to get up multiple times to go to the bathroom and disrupt your sleep. So that's it. Spicy foods, alcohol, foods high in saturated fat, sugars, and too much fluid are all not so good before you go to sleep.
Why did we were growing up, Mom made a warm milk. Remember warm milk in the
I think it has to do with how we secrete serotonin or melatonin or melatonin drives serotonin. No, but I think that's what it had to do with. But melatonin is a really natural way to sort of regulate your sleep cycle. So that's another option for you if you're having trouble sleeping. All
righty, Dr. Cole, great stuff. We want to say goodbye and thank our producer Shane Reardon, our coordinating producer is Tracy Taro. Many thanks to David Cole for managing and our website and our business operations, as well as Samantha Smith from Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Net proceeds of our show, Sports Medicine Weekly, go to support orthopedic research at Rush through the liveactivenow.org fund. For Dr. Brian Cole, I'm Steve Kashul saying so long. Thanks for listening to Sports Medicine Weekly here on The Score. Up next on The Score, early odds with Joe Ostrowski. We'll be back with you again next Saturday, 8 a.m. Central, for a brand new edition of Sports Medicine Weekly, only on
670 The Score.